What's up, Game Changers? It's your boy TJ, aka Mr. Game Changer, and I'm back with another episode. This is episode 104 of the Game Changers Podcast, man. Welcome. Football is here. And let's just get straight into it, man. I didn't come here to play around. I also didn't come here to talk about Trump, but I guess we will. This is not, let me preface this by saying this is not a political podcast, okay? But this is definitely history, and I just want to discuss it a little bit, but we're definitely going to start off with the main thing, and that is sports, okay? So let's start with the most recent, and then let's rewind back. So National Championship, NCAA National Championship. Wow. Ohio State comes out on top on Notre Dame, and a lot of people predicted that. Now, I was rooting for Notre Dame because, you know, the black coach, me, pretty pro-black. So I'm like, okay, the black coach, you know, first ever to win, and all that type of stuff. I'm not really a Notre Dame fan. It's just I had to choose. If I was to choose a team to be in the national championship, it will obviously be Colorado because, you know, I'm a big Deion Sanders fan. So, but just get into the game. Ohio State really looked dominant for probably most of this game other than the first drive. So Notre Dame gets the ball first. They go down and they put together a great drive, and it looks like it's going to be a great game. Actually, in my opinion, by the looks of the first drive, like if I didn't see no other Ohio State game before this, which I have, but if I didn't see no other game before this, and I only seen that first drive by Notre Dame, I would be thinking in my head, Notre Dame is going to win. But after that, it was just an onslaught of Ohio State with their potent offense, and it seems like Ohio State, after the first drive, they got what Notre Dame was doing, which is basically a lot of QB runs, a lot of check downs. Like Notre Dame's offense after the first drives looked nonchalant. So if I sit here and I just go to these stats, like, let me see. If I go to the stats of Notre Dame and Ohio State, they wouldn't tell the full story because Notre Dame definitely, like, the quarterback put up some stats, but Ohio State was running with it by mid-third quarter. I was at my father's house watching the football game with my brother. We were downstairs. In the first half, we were quiet. My brother was really contemplating leaving and going back home because he stay in the city. So he was like, nah, it's cold outside. Now, mind you, it's negative below. I didn't even start with that. But Chicago is negative below. Texas, Louisiana is snowing right now. Florida, it's a beach full of snow. It's crazy outside right now. So he thinking in his head, yo, I gotta drive to the city park where I need to park and then walk to my crib. So, and it's negative below right now. It's snowing a little bit here in Chicago. Also, you know, we getting flurries, but it's not snowing like other places. But so he's contemplating leaving, but then I think it was like mid-fourth quarter, they start getting back into it because they got a key stop and then they got a touchdown. But for most of this game, Notre Dame looked out of it. Now, it came down to one play. So Notre Dame got to stop. They also missed the field goal. Like, yo, I don't know what be going on with kickers, bro. But, like, I feel like I've never seen this many, like, missed kicks. Like, in the last 5 years, I don't think I've seen as many missed field goals or point afters that I've ever seen before, like, in the last 5 years. Like, the last 5 years, it's been crazy for kickers. So the kicker for Notre Dame misses like a 25-yard, 30-yard field goal. like just doinks it. And I'm like, yo, did he just miss? I was in disbelief. My dad was like, yeah, he missed. And they went for it, but they did end up getting close. But what really sealed the game and what was happening all game, I don't know his number, but number 29 for Notre Dame couldn't guard Ray Charles walking down the street. Like, number 29, let me not say that, because you're going against arguably one of the best top 5, maybe top 3 receivers in the whole national football in Jeremiah Smith. Let me make sure I'm getting his name right, but I'm pretty sure I am. But Jeremiah Smith went crazy, and before the play started, actually, I didn't even notice what coverage they were in. I was like, yo, it's 3rd and 11. Get a stop, Notre Dame. Make this a game. Because I think they were down like 2 touchdowns and a field goal, something like that. And my brother was like, yo, I ain't got the app, but yo, I send you $20. Put $20 right now. We was looking at the prices. He was like, if you put 20, what we'll make. So if he put $20 down to make $600 just for the comeback for Notre Dame. So he put 20 on that on my phone, my FanDuel, and right now we cooking. You know, 3rd quarter in, 4th quarter coming. They score. They get the 2-point conversion. He going crazy. I'm going crazy. I'm telling him, you know, it's a little 15%, gratuity, 15% gratuity for using my app. He like, boy, stop. So we're hoping for Notre Dame to win. I don't know who he had before the game. I knew I had Notre Dame, but now I want them to win even more because my brother put money on it. So come to the last play, Ohio State 3rd and 11. Now the past 2 plays, and this is what my dad told me after the play happened. He said that Ohio State was baiting Notre Dame. So they were just like baiting them into thinking, oh, we're just trying to run down the clock as best as we can. So they did like 2 straight quarterback runs for Ohio State. It's 3rd and 11, yo. I didn't even look at the defensive setting that Notre Dame had, but as soon as they snapped the ball and he launched that mug, it was such a deep gap between Smith and number 29. I remember his number. I don't remember his name, but I remember his number because he was getting cooked all night. Number 29 was getting cooked all night for Notre Dame, yo. And the gap was so large. I was like, yo, it's no way. It's no safety back here. It's no way, y'all. I mean, but that's why my dad said they baited him, because it's like they thinking they trying to run a clock out or throw towards the 1st yard line, but no, they like 101. And honestly, like post game and just seeing like social media after this game, it was some resurfaced clips of people talking about we still gonna play man to man against Ohio State. We good. And yo, these 2 Ohio State receivers, bro, Smith and I don't know what the other guy name is, they looking at each other like man to man. They looking at each other like, you go ahead and talk. Tell them what we do to man to man. Tell them what we do to man to man. And obviously we just seen it on the 3rd and 11 to seal the game. And me and my brother was so shocked that they were playing man, bro. He was upset. I was upset for him because they had a chance to come back, potentially tie the game and go into overtime. You know how them overtimes be. Sometimes overtimes be a little bit unpredictable. But Ohio State came out as the victor because they were obviously the better team, because most of the game they showed that they are the better team, yo. They definitely showed that they are the better team. Howard for Ohio State, 231 yards, 2 touchdowns. Smith 5 receptions, 88 yards, and 1 touchdown. Shoot, they receiving course deep. I'm not gonna lie. Ohio State is definitely gonna be good, like, for a long time if they keep this up, because they got the receiver Smith for what, 2 more years. Shoot, this quarterback been looking good. Notre Dame, like, the stats don't 255 yards and 2 touchdowns, but for the quarterback Leonard, but he had to do that on the comeback. Like, this game, it like I told y'all, my brother was finna leave. Like, he was like, if they go up 4 touchdowns, I'm gone. And it looked like it was gonna do that, but Notre Dame, thank God, made it a little interesting at the end, so the game can keep the ratings. But excuse me, but Ohio State pulled it out, and rightfully so. They were the better team, so shout out to Ohio State. But let's really get into the nitty gritty, these NFL playoffs. So this NFL weekend, we had a lot of good games, and this round was definitely better than the first round. So let's start off with the Chiefs and Houston. So we got Chiefs and Houston. What can I say? The Chiefs are a very good team, okay? Because it's a lot of chatter about cheating. Even the Texans, not even cheating, but just like calls going one team's way, and it's been looking like this for years. So I really want to touch on the calls, because I mean, did Houston have a chance to win this game? Yes, for sure. But other than the calls, there definitely were mistakes made by Houston. And there were less mistakes made by Kansas City, and I think that's the name of this whole playoff series, is who can make the less mistakes. Like, that just takes me back to the Super Bowl. Excuse me. With the Eagles, Jalen Hurts against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, and all I can remember is them snapping the ball. I forgot who lost the ball. Either Jalen Hurts fumbled it, or it was like a long snap, but they snapped the ball and it went over his head. He had to run back and get it, and that was a huge mistake, put them back. But it's like, TJ, no, they still had a chance to win the game. But when things come up like this, when you make certain mistakes, like when I play Madden, bro, I know, especially if I'm playing against a good person, I would say that my brother is a very good Madden player. So if I make a certain mistake against him, I know, like, oh, the game is over. Even though there may be some time left, a whole quarter left, it don't matter. Like, I know this one mistake can lead to something else, and then now I'm down 2 scores instead of 1. You get what I'm saying? So mistakes were definitely made, but just to get to the 2 main calls, I think it was personal foul, roughing the passer on both. I think it's a little uncalled for, especially when you have multiple players, multiple teams, or multiple fan bases saying, hey, they're giving special calls to this one guy in Patrick Mahomes, and it looks lopsided. Now, I'm on the side of these were 2 bad calls, but I don't think that the league is doing this purposely. Now, if we get to the Super Bowl and there's multiple pivotal moments, let's say if the Chiefs make the Super Bowl against whoever, and it's multiple pivotal moments where calls are made in the Chiefs, going the Chiefs' way, I am definitely going to look at it a certain way. I've seen the Chiefs get a whole bunch of calls, and I get what people are saying, but I think it's really going to take this Super Bowl, and not saying they're going to go to the Super Bowl. The Bills might beat them, but I really doubt that. But if this Super Bowl is anything like the accusations that have been made against them, if it's anything like that, then I'm going to have to look at it a certain way, because I wouldn't put it past the NFL if they want the Chiefs to repeat. I mean, if I'm an owner of a league and I see this team dominating, like, of course I would want my product, any team in my product, to three-peat. That's a big thing. Like, I don't know the last team that did repeat in the NFL. I don't even know if there's a team or a certain quarterback that has three-peated. I know the NBA has one, two, a couple. The Lakers and the Bulls, maybe another one back in the 60s to 70s like that. Yeah, they got a few. But yeah, I as an owner, I would want that, but not to the extent where I have the whole fan base of the NFL as a whole saying, hey, these calls are egregious, and it makes me not, like, I've heard people say it makes me not want to watch the game. Like, you're making these type of calls that will end the season. I get it, and I got, like, the Houston players came out after the game and they said some choice words. They was like, we knew we were gonna play against like the players and the refs. Even the coach said we knew it was us against everybody. When I say everybody, I mean everybody. And we knew what he was insinuating, and that was the refs. So it's just like I get it from those players because they work hard all season for moments like this, just to, for certain calls not to go their way, and it sways the game. Like, momentum is a big thing. That is a huge thing, and I feel like calls like that definitely mess with momentum. Like, let's say if you got them on the third down and you finna get a pivotal stop and like a crazy call comes in, then we all see the replay. We're all sitting at home watching it. The people in the stadium is watching it, and it's like everybody knows, where this call should go, but the ref calls it completely another way. So, and that doesn't just pertains to the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. It pertains to every team and, different refs and different games and different calls, but it just seems like it's been going the Chiefs' way for the past few years. So I just hope going forward, definitely against the Bills, it doesn't do that, because I feel like if Josh Allen and the Bills play good football, they should be able to win the game without certain things called. Like, if I'm watching the game and I see certain calls and, I feel like, yeah, that was the correct call, I'm going to say yeah. But the roughing the passer, when the two players collided, they hit each other. Not Patrick Mahomes, but I guess the ref didn't see it. Like, in real time, it may look like it, but that's something that they should definitely be reviewing. So, the Kansas City Chiefs, they beat Houston. That was an okay game. 23-14. Patrick Mahomes, 16 for 25, 177 yards. My thing is, geez Louise, he didn't even throw to DeAndre Hopkins, but I expect DeAndre Hopkins to have a good game next game, because I believe the Bills are going to be doubling Travis Kelce. We'll get to that. CJ Stroud, 19 for 28, 245 yards, 0 touchdowns though. Then, what game do I want to go next? I'm gonna go with the Eagles and the Rams. Now, the Rams, they're a good team. They've been playing well for the in half of the season. But the Eagles, got the best of them, and Saquon Barkley, bro. I can't say enough. Hey, on FanDuel, I'm betting the house. I don't care who they playing next. They playing the Commanders next. I'm betting the house on 150 yards and a touchdown. I'm not going to be greedy and bet 2 touchdowns because I don't know. I need to do a little bit more research on the Washington's run defense, but I mean, I could look at it right now. I could just look at the Detroit Lions rushing. Let's check the rushing. Gibbs rushed for 105 yards. Okay, Montgomery rushed for 28 yards. So if I combine Montgomery and Gibbs, I'll get Saquon Barkley. Like, those two are Saquon and one. So what? 105 plus 28. What's that? 133, 133 yards for Saquon and a touchdown, maybe two. Put it on the books. Put it on the books, y'all. But back to LA Rams versus Eagles. That's all I gotta say. I mean, it's really Saquon Barkley. But as the Eagles goes and play the Commanders, yeah, I really gotta see Jalen Hurts do what he does, because I can see certain scenarios happen. Like one scenario that I can see, Washington versus the Eagles, I can see Washington going up 14-0, 21-7, something like that, up 2 touchdowns. What are the Eagles going to do right now? I know they're still going to play their game and run the ball, but where's your play action? Are you going to get it to your receivers? Okay. And they're playing the Rams, and their receiving core, this is their receiving core. Dallas Goedert, 4 receptions for 56 yards. Saquon Barkley is their second highest receiver for this game, and 4 receptions and 27 yards. Devontae Smith, 4 receptions and 21 yards. A.J. Brown, 2 receptions and 14 yards. That is not going to cut it against the Commanders. I don't think so. It's going to cut it against the Rams, because they have a good defense. I mean, Matthew Stafford, he played well, 26 for 44, 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. I mean, Puka Nacua, 97 yards, Cooper Kupp, 61. Their receiving core went crazy. It's just that defense held it on his own, and the Eagles' offense was stable enough around Saquon Barkley's 205 yards, but can they sustain that against Washington and a high-powered offense? And Washington's defense, from what I've seen in Detroit, like, they ain't no scrubs either. It's some elite players over there. So the Eagles, I just need to see more from Jalen Hurts. And if I don't, I'm going to have to start to question some things in the offseason. I'm not saying get rid of Jalen Hurts, but I'm talking about looking at your future for quarterback. Because what do you want? Like, the Eagles got Saquon Barkley, so they know what their identity is. It's a run-first team. Cool. But is that gonna win you? Like, is Saquon Barkley gonna be able to take this team to the Super Bowl and win it? Off the top of my head, I want to say yes, but I'm gonna say no. Because it's like, can he get 200 yards a night? Yeah. But does that guarantee you a win, especially against this offense that's putting up, like, not putting up video game numbers, but it looks like a video game. Like Jaden Daniels, like the way he throwing the ball, the way he running it, the way he running this offense, it looks like a video game type style offense. So I don't know if the Eagles are going to be able to get past this. If they get past this team, then I think they can beat anybody over there. In Kansas City or Buffalo. I'm not going to lie to you. This is going to be their biggest challenge. If they can beat Washington, I think they can beat anybody over there. And that may sound like a bold statement, because the Kansas City Chiefs, they just went back-to-back and they looking to three-peat. But I think the Eagles have enough, and that will be mainly on Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley's shoulders. Now, I mean, after the offense off season, we'll have to talk about A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Do they want to stay with the Eagles, not a really non-throwing team? They throw the ball, but it's a run first offense. So it's like, AJ Brown has expressed his frustrations with not getting the ball, and I think he got a lot of decisions to make in the offseason. But if they win a Super Bowl, I think it's gonna be easier either way, because if I'm AJ Brown and I win the Super Bowl, it's gonna be easy for me to leave or stay. Hey, I just got a Super Bowl. I got one under my belt. Cool, I'm out of here, because they going to keep doing the same thing. or I just got a Super Bowl and, I'm cool in my situation. I like Philly. I want to stay. So he got some decisions to make. But this game overall, it was really about Saquon and the offensive line by the Eagles. They're pretty stout. So Eagles beat the Rams. And then we go to Detroit and Washington, man. Detroit and Washington. What a game. What a game. I was literally on the couch like, yo. I got my popcorn. Like, first half, I think it was like 21-14. Like, they was going back to back in the scores, but in my head, I wanted Detroit to win. I said this on my Game Changers Podcast Instagram. I was like, yo, I was willing to drive the 4 hours. My wife is from Detroit. I got family out there now. Detroit is like a second home to me. Shout out to all the Detroit fans, yo. I felt so bad. But during the game, I'm like, y'all can't keep letting them score and think y'all gonna win. Like, Jared Goff, he cool. He cool, but he's facing a young stallion over there, bro. Jaden Daniels, he's surprising me. Like, when the Bears first picked up Caleb Williams and then Washington got Jaden Daniels, I'm like, yo, we got the best quarterback in the draft, but some people is calling this the best rookie season in NFL history, especially if he win the Super Bowl his first year. Bro, Jaden Daniels, 222 for 31. What's that? That's 8 plus. He only missed 9 throws for 299 yards and 2 touchdowns. Oh my gosh. And then they running Brian Robinson, 77 rushing yards. Jaden Daniels, 51 rushing yards. Oh my gosh. Terry McLaurin, 87 receiving yards. Brown, 98 yards. Eckler, receiving yards. Look, Zach Ertz getting some receiving yards, bro. Shout out to Zach Ertz. And I was just telling my dad this. Like, players like Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz, Eckler, like, they all came from different teams, and now they're on a team together and able to, I think Bobby Wagner won one. I don't think Zach Ertz or Eckler won a Super Bowl, but Wagner able to possibly get his second one, and the other two get their first one with, they came from franchises. They felt like they could have stayed there for a long time, but now they went from place to place. I think Zach Ertz was on the Cardinals before this. So it's great to see players like that come out and actually produce and help their team win, bro. I think the Commanders winning a Super Bowl is a great story. I think it would be great for the NFL. I think it would be an eye-opener for a lot of other teams and quarterbacks and be like, yo, like, just think about Joe Burrow at home right now. Jaden Daniels coming from LSU just like you, getting a Super Bowl before you his first year. Come on, bro. Like, it's going to be a lot of players in general thinking like that if he win a Super Bowl, but especially quarterbacks. Like, just imagine, like, an old Russell Wilson looking at this Russell Wilson. Excuse my language. I'm over here talking too fast. An older Russell Wilson seeing that Jaden Daniels winning the Super Bowl. That would be crazy. Like, just imagine what's going on in his head. Dang, these young cats, they getting it in. I need to do a little better. Let me think. Caleb Williams. He see Jaden win the Super Bowl. Caleb like, yo, I need to be on it next year. Like, it's going to be a lot of quarterbacks looking at that like, yo, we need to step up our game because this is crazy, especially if he have a crazy historic Super Bowl. Bro, I'm here for it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm here for it. Like, I want to see the Eagles go to the Super Bowl, but I'm here for the Commanders in the Super Bowl and winning it all, bro. That's exciting because watching this game against Detroit was exciting, bro. Like the touchdowns, the throws, the defense, the back and forth, like the competition, bro. I was really feeling this. So shout out to the Commanders, bro. Y'all did y'all thing. Shout out to Jaden Daniels. I hope y'all go all the way, bro. For real. Detroit, better luck next year. You just lost your defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator to us. First of all, you lost your offensive coordinator to the Bears. Shout out the Bears. The Bears. Okay. Let me do this. Let me put my hand up. I was a little bit too straight with it. I was a little bit too Elon Musk with it. Ooh. We gonna get to it. We gonna get to these crazy white folks. Yo. But the Bears, we got a coach. Just a side note. I mean, I don't really have too much to say about that. I really have to see him within our organization. But the Bears just hired, small side note, Bears just finalized the deal with Ben Johnson, former offensive coach of the Detroit Lions, to become our head coach. And from the little interview that I seen, he seems really serious. He seems like he really wanted this job. So we'll just have to see. I like the offense he was running with the Detroit Lions. Some of them trick plays, though, like the one where Williams threw that interception against Washington. I'm like, yo, I thought he was going to throw a dot. Interception. I'm like, damn. I'm like, yo, what type of play was that? But don't bring some of them trick plays, leave them in Detroit. But getting back to Detroit and Washington, I'm super excited for Washington. And then the last game of the weekend, bro. The last game of the weekend, the game we was all waiting for, the MVP game. It's hard to talk, bro. It's hard to talk about this because this one hurt. I was this was the only game where I was yelling at the TV. Like, I was like, it's no way he dropped that ball, bro. And this nothing against Mark Andrews, probably a potential Hall of Famer, great person, great fit for the Ravens organization. Even the coach and Lamar Jackson backed him up. Cool, let's push that to the side. We know he's a great player. But man, oh man. And I don't really want to focus on these two plays because Lamar Jackson had a turnover. Getting back to the turnovers and mistakes. When you playing such a good team like Buffalo Bills, like, you can't make these type of mistakes. I'm talking about 2 turnovers, I believe, right? I think it was 2 turnovers that they had. Or unless Lamar threw an interception, I think. Yep, Lamar, 3 turnovers. So the Ravens had 3 turnovers against a highly evolved, highly competitive Buffalo Bills. You cannot have that. But the 2 plays with Mark Andrews, you throw the ball to him. He has space in the middle, but he cuts. I kind of see where he was trying to go because the defender is right here, but he's trying to cut behind him so he can get, other players to block for him or just get behind the defender. But the defender punches the ball out. Now they get it. And then Lamar Jackson throws an absolute dot touchdown. They finna tie the game with a 2-point conversion. They run a great play. And for all you people out there that said Lamar Jackson did not place the ball right to Mark Andrews, bro, don't do that. Because any other player, any other situation, you would be like, if the ball touch your hands, you got to catch it. That's how NFL retired players talk. Like Shannon Sharp. Mike Irvin, Deion said, the ball touch your hand. You have to catch it. He threw the best ball you could throw. And Mark Andrews still fumbled the ball. And I get it. It happens to everybody. But this year was supposed to be the Ravens' year. I mean, they have freaking Derrick Henry, for crying out loud. They have a decent defense. But it was just really heartbreaking, bro. Lamar Jackson, he was sad. I was sad, bro. Half of America was sad, but you know who wasn't sad? Them Bills fans, bro. Them Bills fans. But as far as Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson had the better game. As far like 18 for 25, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And then you had Josh Allen, 16 for 22, 127 yards and 0 touchdowns. Okay, but who else got the touchdowns? He rushed 2 touchdowns. Let me not say that. He didn't pass no touchdown, but he rushed 2 touchdowns. But that's because when they get close to the line, you give them the ball, just how people do Derrick Henry or Saquon or Jalen Hurts. But yeah, Lamar had the better game. It's just those mistakes, bro. You cannot have those mistakes. You have to play close to perfect. This one really hurt, and it's gonna hurt for a few months. But once they get back into the season next year, it is all gonna be forgotten. Well, not really. I think this one is going to sting all up till this year or this time next year. So it's going to sting until that time because he wants to win the Super Bowl. And I believe in the next 3 years, Lamar Jackson is going to win the Super Bowl. Like, we're going to be all celebrating for that, but it's just not this year. Buffalo Bills go on to win it. They made the less mistakes. I don't think they were the better team. They just made less mistakes. So now the Buffalo Bills are playing the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Washington Commanders is playing the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going Washington, and I'm going Chiefs. Washington Chiefs in the Super Bowl, I think it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a shootout in the Super Bowl. And I don't want to make that prediction right now, but I'm super excited. I'm super excited for these 4 teams. These 4 teams are still good. If Detroit and Baltimore got in, I would still be just as excited. Maybe a little bit more for Detroit and Baltimore because Lamar and family in Detroit. I just explained it. But yeah, I'm still excited about these playoffs. Those are my predictions. Won't give my predictions for the Super Bowl yet. But yeah, it was a crazy weekend for football. But man, I guess everything happens for a reason. I believe stuff like that. Everything happens for a reason. So Lamar Jackson is going to learn from this. Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions are going to learn from this. The Rams are going to learn from this. Who else lost? And the Houston Texans are going to learn from this, yo. But let's talk about the inauguration real quick. And I'm going to be brief with this because it's a lot of talk and chatter out there. First of all, I did watch the inauguration, but I was late on, I'm trying to be on social media less. But I kind of have to be because this is my platform. This is my job. But I did not get the memo that we all wasn't supposed to watch the inauguration. And then I'm telling people I watched the inauguration. They looking at me like, why did you watch it? I'm like, well, this is American history. Like, I kind of wanted to see how certain stuff was going to play out during this process. Like, they changed it from outside to inside. Like, Michelle Obama wasn't there. Certain people didn't show up because it was Trump. But I thought President Obama wasn't showing up, but he showed up. So, I mean, y'all ain't gonna shame me for watching it, but just as far as the whole thing, let me get the jokes out the way. First of all, this black preacher from Detroit, he over here doing his little rendition of the "I Have a Dream" speech by Dr. Martin Luther King, and he doing what black preachers do. but it's in the audience of white people that look like they ain't never been to a black church in a day in their life. So Donald Trump over there smiling like, he's pretty enthused. Like, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know how I felt about it. Like, I understood what he was doing, but it looked, towards the end, it was the little extra. It was a little extra. What else? We got George Bush. Oh my gosh. Every time the camera panned over there, he in the back looking like, when is this gonna be over? Like, y'all hit it, like what? Like he didn't say the N-word, but y'all hit his man. Like, he looked like he was back there cracking jokes. He was laughing. Yo, I know Obama and Hillary was over there cracking jokes with George Bush, but that was so interesting to see because I'm like, two of these people were presidents. Like, you have multiple presidents up here. You got Clinton, you got Bush, you got Obama, bro. You got Biden down here. He smiling from time to time. He looking side-eye. And Kamala gonna keep a straight face. Now that's one thing I would say. Kamala face, boy, her face card is it. What the young people be saying? Gag it, gag it, gag it. She was killing it, dog. She was just straight there like, like just, she was killing it, bro. She wasn't playing around, bro. She just like, I'm just here because I gotta be here. Literally, I'm the vice president of the United States for another hour. Okay, look, killing it. But that happened. What else happened, bro? Donald Trump's son is tall, and he has a certain aura about him. I don't think that he's like his dad, and I don't think I've heard him enough to see if he has the same views of his father. But it's like, if I was Trump's son, and let's say if I didn't have the same views as my dad, like, I would sit there and I would play buddy and nice and do what I gotta do because my father's a billionaire. He's around other billionaires, but it's like, I feel like his son is gonna be a tad bit different than his father. I don't know. If you guys have seen videos of his son talking crazy or just like his dad, let me know. But I don't know. I just had, it's just a certain feeling that I got about his son. I feel like his son gonna be better than his father. What else I got right here as far as this inauguration? Elon Musk, he did the little he did the little Nazi salute. He tried to say it was a Roman or whatever. Bruh, come on, they playing in our faces. And I don't even want to talk about him really. I just want to focus on black people specifically. I know it's a whole bunch of laws he done put out. I'm not finna talk about that. I don't even have a person right here to discuss that. And this is not even the right platform for that. You feel me? Y'all go to CNN for that. But one thing that I would say is, like, we on the internet and we just, us as black people, we over here protesting on the internet saying all this stuff. But I want us to actually act on some stuff, bro. Like, for an example, let's go out and let's build our own communities, focus on ourselves. You get what I'm saying? Like, go in our communities and rebuild houses, bigger houses, and better communities, better opportunities, better jobs, build community banks. Like, y'all is just on this app talking about, oh, Trump, it's the end of the world. Like, bro, they been playing in our faces for 500 years, bro. I'm not finna sit up here and just join the complain train. Like, I'm not finna do that, bro. I'm not finna join the complaint train. I'm finna, like, if I really want to do something, I'm gonna get off my butt and I'm gonna go out and do it. But let's get off these apps and stop complaining, bro. Let's get on the apps and be useful. Like, hey, yo, whoever's in the Chicago community, let's do something together. Come and build this community. I got some property over here. Let's start here. Like, we know that where the world is headed. We know that the end of the world is near. But don't sit and complain about it and just let it happen. Like, let's do something about it. I know I'm potentially gonna do something about it for my family and my loved ones. But I'm open. Like, it's not like I'm not open to like joining a community with other black people. It's just I don't think I'm in a position to start that community right now. Like, if I was, let's say if I was 10 million up, it would definitely be a conversation like, okay, let's start this. And it's a lot of black people that's 10 million up, but look at us. We know our history. We know what we about. We know what it is, bro. I don't have to sit here and say, oh, black people this, black people that. We know what's up. I'm talking to the people that's smart and educated and know what's up. We know what's up. So we either do something or we don't, bro. That's it. That's all I gotta say on that, man. Trump gonna be goofy. He gonna do some funny stuff. He gonna do some outrageous stuff. He gonna do some crazy stuff. He gonna do some asinine stuff, bro. He's just a crazy person surrounding himself with crazy white people. That's all white people want to do, is surround each other with other like-minded white people and just have power. That is their drug right there. Like, we like to smoke weed and all that. Like, that's their drug. It's power. So let me chill, bro. I'm gonna chill because I go off. I'm gonna chill, but I can't wait for this championship round of the NFL playoffs, bro. The NBA, I'm definitely gonna touch on that the next pod, because just leave y'all on a little cliffhanger. I just think that I know why the NFL ratings are down. And I don't think it has to do with anything with the three. I just think it has a lot to do with our stars of old getting older and potentially retiring, mainly LeBron James. And I think I said it before, but on the next podcast, I'm going to get more into it, because I was watching a couple NBA games. I'm like, who is that? What's his name? Like, who is that guard in Luka? Who is that guard in Jokic? But yeah, that's all I got for y'all today, man. One of the most important things on this earth is to help motivate people, because a little bit of inspiration, y'all, a little bit, especially for my black people, especially right now in the times that we in right now. It's happening right now. Trump is in office. It's happening right now. A little bit of motivation, y'all. It can go a long way, man. Remember that. Mr. Game Changer, I'm signing out.